Hello, my makeup loving friends. How's it going? Welcome back. It has been a week. So we have a week's worth of new makeup releases to talk about. And with me, I have the annoyingly one-upping me, Tia. Always one-upping me. Very upsetting. You know the drill though. I'm going to have all of her details down below in the description box. She has a Patreon, she has a YouTube, she has an Instagram. It's all very annoying. So go check it out.
I have them all.
You do. She has the TikToks also. I will say, as a quick little announcement, I'm going away on holiday, and as a result, I won't be filming. And Tia is also away. We have not coordinated this, and yet it has randomly turned out quite well. So this will be the last releases and rants for 2 weeks. I know. However will you cope? But don't worry, I will be intermittently still doing like my little makeup minutes on TikTok. So if you really need to get those little fixes, I will be like ducking out of Edinburgh Castle to be like, and this is what Maybelline has done this week. So
you need to stalk her Instagram. I mean TikTok, but stalk the Instagram too. Like
yeah, both. I mean, why not? But I have so many people to thank for tagging me in content because, as I said, if you guys don't tag me, it becomes a very short episode. So big thank you to Brianna, Ali, Beth, Miss Charlie, Trendstopia, Makeup Release Radar, Gina, Tia, Camille, Tina, Chrissy, Megan, Wilma Fingerdo, Shanna, Amina, Tony Homepern, Claire, Rhea, Annie, Christina, JW, Haley, Sue, Kirsten, Sarah, Jade S, Manuela O, Missy, Missa, Cheryl, Lisa G, Katie C, and Gillian. Big thank you to you all, and a big thank you to my Patreons. Much appreciate. And the lovely Anna messaged me during the weekend going, I have time. What's the theme this week? And I was like, shit, brain, no work. So I left it to Anna to choose the theme. And it's like Anna doesn't know me because she just went, go.
She did a flirty.
She really did. So she decided that apparently the theme for this week was Ghost Sports Team. Do I look like I know what sports is?
Yeah.
R. Anyways, I went for a thing. I was like, mud, green, grass.
I was like, sports theme. I don't even watch sports. I just do whatever. So I went for the like a sportsman wife kind of route.
Yes, a wag. I like it.
Yeah.
Perfect. Fuck it. Anyways, other people did things. Here you go. You can look at them now. But you know the drill. We have quite a few bits to talk about. And the very first thing is Danessa Myricks. And this is the Lightwork 3 Experience palette. It's $85. And what they've basically done is they've re-released like a newer version of the Lightwork palette volume 3. So this palette takes 8 of the colors from their original Lightwork palette because essentially people were like, I love this Lightwork palette. And I remember actually myself and Tia shitting ourselves when we saw the original. We were like, this is beautiful, but we're both broke ass bitches.
So expensive.
Yeah, we just couldn't, we like keeping the lights on in our houses. Anyways, this is also going to be limited edition, so let the FOMO be strong in you, I guess. There's 5 multi-chrome pigments, there's 1 duochrome gel, 1 powder cream, and 1 holographic duo. If you, by the way, are interested, this is coming out on the 22nd of July, and I will have affiliate links below, and I'll post them as well nearer the time, just to remind you in case you want to buy yourself nice things, all that sort of thing. I think this looks beautiful.
It's beautiful, but come on, $85. Like so many brands are doing these multi-chrome, multi-dimensional shades nowadays, and I just don't understand why it needs to be so damn expensive. Like,
but look at like Gourmand Girls and their the Future palette, and how she had so many shades in that, but it was like $45. And I'm like, hold on, how did a little indie brand manage to make that more affordable than a much more mainstream brand? So I'm like, I mean, I've already bought the Gourmand Girls palette and it is on its way to me. So like, I think both myself and Tia, quite a few of us are already at that point where we've had quite a few duochromes. I mean, I'm wearing some duochromes right now. So I think like maybe 2 years ago, this would have been, because I think we talked about this several months ago. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's okay. I think they're smart to make it limited edition because people are going to get.
I kind of wished, I don't know what I wish. It's just out of my budget, so maybe I wish it to be more affordable.
I think we've just talked ourselves out of it because of the price thing. But I will say, like, the photographs are fantastic in terms of the swatches, and I know that was actually taken by Becky, so that's quite that's quite cool. I love the kind of shifts of these, but I already have quite a few of these, and
these aren't like that special. Like, I'm sorry, but they just aren't like that special looking. Like, for that price, I would be like, it needs to be able to pay my bills, be the most beautiful thing I've ever seen, make me look like a model. Like,
absolutely minimum.
Like, I don't think I'm asking for a lot.
I don't think so either. I think if you're spending that much on it, it really should. Like, the thing was, I was initially, when I saw this, I was like, oh, I am interested. But now, kind of that I've had time to stew and have a little think and reflect, I'm like, do you know what, Teresa? You're actually fine because you have an approximate fuck ton of makeup. You could never buy makeup again and you'd be fine.
Yeah, if I was rich bias, I would probably be like, mine. But I am not, so
yeah, pretty much.
I'm not gonna get.
Yeah, and when I put it to you guys, 48% of you loved it, 37% said not for me, and 15% of you said, I like some of it. And going from one expensive brand, we're talking about another expensive brand. This is Pat McGrath trying to convince us that this is a new palette when we're like, no, Pat, you have done this before. Stop it. This is the Mothership Moonlit Seduction. I mean, I get that she likes a fairly neutral palette and she does like to have her purple mauvey tones and like pinks, but come on now, Pat, break out of that comfort zone, do something a bit different, because I can imagine if you're like a Pat McGrath enthusiast and you've got all of the palettes that she's done so far, you must kind of be at that point where you're like, Jesus, this is a bit repetitive now. Like,
I like parts of it. I don't like rice. Some of those shapes look really pretty, but everything I said about Danessa palette applies to this. It's just so expensive. Like, can it be, you know, kind of worth it? Like, is this so good that you can't get this quality if you're gonna buy something more cheaper? Like, I don't think you can. Like, I don't know, I haven't tried, but I'm like, can it be like so much more better than these already high-end brands that are making really nice quality products? Or like, I kind of think it's the brand name that is like a big chunk of what we're paying for.
Absolutely. It's like part of it is that brand recognition.
Yeah, like the luxury thing.
And like she does have beautiful packaging, let's be real. And like when she did try to bring the price down by having more like affordable packaging, it seems the Pat McGrath peeps were like, no, we like the luxury and we like the extravagance, which fair enough, you know, I get that. Now, I will also say, I recently got a Pat McGrath palette, a big one, a Mothership. Yes, the beautiful, lovely, wonderful Tina sent it on to me. And yes, I know. I didn't know what to do. I went full flap. I was like, so I will be playing with that probably when I come back from holidays, because I'm not bringing that on holidays with me. That's too good.
So I'm expecting a full rated or slated video from this. Teresa's gonna tell us the tea.
You know, I'm very excited. She also sent on some other bits and I'm just like, la, 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 la. So I'm a bit frightened because what if I do end up loving it and then I've just fallen down the Pat McGrath rabbit hole? And then I'm like, you're gonna find me like on the streets selling my fingernails for these palettes. I feel like there's a market for
Like,
that.
I I don't know. But yeah, I think like I'm gonna try your Pat McGrath palette when I come over next. And
I
then I'll
know.
be detergent everything.
Tia's already like, see, Tia's coming over to Edinburgh, but she's now already planning another trip to Ireland. Fuck this bullshit. I'm not going over there.
I need to try the Pat McGrath.
And you know, I bought other things since you last saw me. So, I mean, I'm just saying. But in addition to that, like, I mean, let's be real, entirely repetitive palette. I think what's hilarious, well, I think it's hilarious, is they have a liquid eyeliner in the shade Black Coffee, and they say it's quick drying and easy to apply, up to 24 hours. Why?
Who wears a liner that long? Also, like, no, just straight up no. Go buy NYX Epic in brown liner. I promise you, it will be as good. And this looks like those felt tip liner, not brush tip liners. And those felt tip liners, I hate them so much. They're so dry. They dry out so fast. I feel like they're just shitty liners.
Yeah.
Sorry. So I don't think this would be worth anyone's pennies. Sorry.
No, but I just don't understand why they put the qualification of like 24 hours. Like,
yeah,
why?
like,
who cares?
That's the thing. Like, now I'll buy it because it's 24 hours.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw the packaging of that, I thought it was ICO. Like,
because of the eye there.
Yeah. I was very confused when I saw it. I was like, oh well, maybe this is a bit jump.
Imagine you're like shopping in Sephora and you're like, oh, let me pick this ICO liner and go to the cashier, pay your products, and be like, why was this so expensive? And then you go like, it was a Pat McGrath line.
But like, if I'm gonna splash out, it's not gonna be for an eyeliner.
Nah,
it really isn't. Like, sorry. Anyways, look, there's nothing from this that I'm really that interested in. I think Pat McGrath is really going to have to change things up and become a bit more exciting. Go away from the pinky purpley tones. Don't get me wrong, I love pinky purpley tones, but if that's all you do in palettes,
something new, please.
Yeah, literally, that's all we're asking. And I think a lot of you guys are picking up on that repetitive thing, because when I put it to you, 19% of you said I love it, 57% said not for me, and 24% of you said I like some of it. Is it just me, or have Be Perfect just been coming out with things constantly? Because even in this week, now we're only just talking about one of their releases, but within this week they came out with 2 different launches. Now the reason why I'm not talking about the second one, which is the collaboration with Tess Daly, is that it's like a repackaging of existing things just as a bundle, so that's why I'm not talking about it, not because like I don't support Tess Daly, but I'm like, we've already kind of discussed these things before. But this is a new palette, and this was a collaboration with Laura Broderick. So what she's basically come out with is several things in one palette. So it's an eyeshadow palette and a face palette. So there's something about the eyeshadows that reminds me a little bit of the BH Cosmetics Trendy in Tokyo. Then we look at the face palette bit. There's 2 bronzers, there's 2 blushers, and then there's 2 highlighters. She's also come out with like a universal lash, which looks nice, but the palette itself is €39.95 and it is available now. Like, I mean, obviously this is such a big deal for her. I've looked at her makeup. She's a beautiful lady, like she's gorgeous, and I can see that this kind of like makes an awful lot of sense. She's kind of made this as a palette which is for people who are kind of just starting off, who are beginning with makeup, and once you know that backstory, you're like, oh, okay, that makes
sense. But to me, doesn't the like color story, like if you take out the like blushes, bronzers, highlights, to me, like instantly when I saw this, I was like, they did this already with the Vivienne.
Yeah.
And then the another one that came like just a couple of months ago, the Rain
Yeah.
palette, very similar. It's just like, I feel like they just produce very similar color stories with their collabs. I obviously understand that the content creator who is doing the collab, I would hope that they get to choose the colors. So maybe that's the thing. I don't know. But also, like, then if you look at the blushes and bronzers and highlights, that to me looks like the ABAs and trios,
Yeah.
the so expensive
Yeah.
ones. I don't know. Like, I wouldn't pick this up. But I think, like you said, that this is for someone who is like starting off makeup or just wants like a one palette for everything. I feel like it makes sense. I do not like that they have so much unused space there. Like, why wouldn't you put 6 more eyeshadows there? Like, maybe add some like nice shimmers or something, because I feel like you have only 1 or 2 shimmers in there.
Yeah, it's a very matte heavy palette. If you actually look at the swatches, it's primarily a neutral palette with little pops of color of the yellow, the pink, the purple, and like that kind of turquoisey green. And then there's one green kind of shimmer. So it would have been nice. I mean, although that being said, if they put in more colors, then we'd probably be critiquing and being like, oh, it's like the carnival palette, or it's like this, or it's like that. But I think that's exactly kind of the problem, is that they've come out with so much stuff that they just are at this point duping themselves. And I'm not on the Be Perfect bandwagon. I don't buy from them anymore. There's something about them.
I like the brand. Like, I like their quality of products. I've had a good luck with them, but just their late releases, like, I just don't know. They haven't been that interesting to me. And I feel like they have a lot of collabs. Like, they don't let the creator like shine. Like, it's like month after they have another collab, and then another one, and then another one. I just feel like they need to like slow down a bit.
It reminds me a little bit of the issue that happened with ABH. Remember when ABH were at their peak, and then what happened was they came out with way too many collabs. They came out with a Jackie Aina palette, and then with, I can't remember,
Unreasy and all of those. Like, they had
Harry Bible, and it was all within very quick succession, so that it was very, very, and then like Norvina's, etc., so that none of these individuals actually got time to kind of enjoy that success and enjoy that collaboration, because it isn't that long ago that we were talking about Lord China. I think it was about maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Oh yeah, and then we had the tanning collab with the girl with the like bit of a iffy situation. Then we had the Rain one. Like, all of those have been like this year at least, and maybe even more that we can.
Way more.
So it just like give them a little bit more of a place to
we
shine.
also know obviously that Stacey Marie is going to be coming out with something, because she was feeding us things not that long ago. So
next month, it's usually August, so it's usually around my birthday. That's why I remember it. So that should be coming soon. I just relax a bit. We don't need this much stuff.
Agreed. It feels, there's something about it that feels a bit desperate to me.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
But I'm really happy for the creator who got to like do this. And I don't say this, like, I think the quality on this, what I've tried Be Perfect, if it's the same thing, this is great. And I do think for a person who doesn't want to own a lot of makeup, this do make sense.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really good starter palette, or for somebody who just wants a one and done type thing, which, you know, fair, but that's not us. And that's okay. Now, when I put it to you guys, and again, you see, I'm just preaching to the choir because we're all very, very similar on this. 70% of you said I love it. 80% of you said not for me.
I kind of feel bad.
Yeah, and 12% said I like some of it. But again, that's because we're not the target audience.
Yeah.
We're not a representative sample. We know that, like, statistically. So if she is watching, which I doubt, but just don't worry about those stats, because we are a very particular pool of people. You know, we like, I mean, look at what, like, this is my Go Sports team look.
Yeah. And I'm sure this will do well. Like, I feel like Be Perfect always do quite well with these. So
well, there are known brands and like
nothing to worry about.
Yeah, like they're a known brand. The quality is generally pretty good. So I think this is the sort of thing that people will see and pick up. So I hope for her that it does well. So yeah, I'll be honest with you, this was a bit confusing to me. This is Juvia's place and their Garden of Juvia's collection, which is, by the way, already available. Affiliate link down below. And they have 3 separate things. They have their Garden of Juvia's palette for $25, the Garden of Juvia's eyeliners, and there's 10 different ones of those, $15 each. And then the Garden of Juvia's lip glosses, there's 3 of those for $14. Now, part of why I find this quite confusing is when I look at the eyeshadow palette, there's nothing about that kind of screams Juvia's place to me.
No,
the packaging.
No, this screams VH Cosmetics.
That's what I thought as well. And
it's
I
like
also say that the mix between the mattes and the shimmers, this is very, very shimmer heavy.
Yeah.
Very shimmer heavy.
I kind of get it for summer, you know, pastel lighter tones, but I don't know, this color story is in my jam. It's also kind of reminds me of the Clarity Cosmetics Mesmerizing. Like some of these tones, like the minty color, the like shimmer, corresponding shimmer, and all of those, it kind of reminds me of that.
Yeah, I don't feel like it's executed as well as that though.
It's a bit, I feel like there's too much stuff in here.
Yeah, I think there's several ideas happening here, and I'd struggle to know what to do with it. And again, I know their whole point is doing the pastel thing, which obviously is so linked to Euphoria, and I think it's on trend in a lot of young people. Yeah. I'm old. A lot of young people will like this because that's kind of the thing now. But all I can think of in the back of my mind is, how do I deepen out the look? Do you know what? And this is going to sound really weird. If I look at the shade Marigold and Oh Honey, I'm like, I'd love those as blushes.
Oh yeah.
I think they're nice.
I mean, this is not a standalone palette. Like, I don't think, like, well, maybe for some people, but for me, it wouldn't be. No. And like, I just don't know. I don't really like all of the shimmers that they chose with this. It's not my favorite. Juvia's place can do way better, and I just feel like they didn't hit the mark with this one.
I will say, if you do like it, you're probably going to enjoy the quality, because they do really good palettes. They do, and I generally like their formula. It's just something about this kind of is odd to me. And then the eyeliners, there's 10 different shades. There's a few there that kind of feel a bit repetitive because they have 2 different tones of orange. One is more peachy and one is more like tangerine. They have like 2.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, then they have 2 different shades of yellows, which are far too similar to each other, in my opinion. Then, you know, there's 2 different kind of shades of pink. One is like a pastel and one is a bright pink. I like the chartreusey green. That's interesting to me.
Yeah.
But, like, I'd be semi-interested in it, but for $15, you know, I'd prefer to get like a big cake liner palette, like from Art2 Cosmetics, and kind of go with that. Other than that, of course, then we have the lip glosses. I'm kind of interested in the blue one. I kind of think that's cool.
It's not bad.
Yeah, I think
that could look cool.
Yeah. Hiya!
Oh! Fucking hell, that cat is like...
She had some very distinct thoughts on this collection.
Yeah, she's like, no.
Physical violence.
I'm talking about it, mother.
That's fair. That's fair. But yeah, when I put it to you guys anyways, 31% of you loved it, 37% said not for me, and 31% of you said I like some of it, which I think makes an awful lot of sense. It is a bit of a jumbled collection. Oh, but this next one, I have been shitting myself because Clarity Cosmetics were like, we're going to come out with like a sister companion to the Bloom palette, and it's going to be called the Lily palette. And I was like, I don't even know what it looks like, but I know that I want it, you know, because I generally generally want everything that they
Yeah.
come out with. And they have revealed it. This is the Lily palette, and it's coming out on the 15th of July at 10 a.m. CST. It's going to be $48. There's 5 matte pressed pigments, 1 extreme multi-chrome, 1 duochrome, and 3 foiled pressed pigments. Now, if you've watched any of my Clarity Cosmetics videos before, I will always say the thing that I think that they stand out on are things like their duochromes and their foils. Like I'm not saying that their mattes aren't good, they are, but for me, I'm like, they're one of the brands that I'm like, you could do a full shimmer palette or a full duochrome palette, and I'd just be there going, take my money. I am an affiliate, but the thing is that things have changed recently due to suppliers, so there's no affiliate links or money off for palettes at the moment. It is for like other items. That being said, I don't give a shit. I fucking love this palette. I love it.
I like it. Like first glance, I was like, I love it. Now that I look at it more, I have some thought. Don't really understand why there's like 3 purples on the like end there that all look very similar. Maybe one of them is shimmer duochrome, maybe. So I get that. But then the 2 purples are very similar. And then you even have like one more purpley pinky color at the end. So I kind of wish there would have been a little bit more variation between those. Like,
I think once you look at the swatches of those, you can start to see some variation there.
yeah, that makes sense way more. It looks so different on the like pictures because all of the colors, like they look, all of the 3 like purples, they looked all purple and all kind of the same. But if you look at the swatches, they aren't. So
Yeah.
that's good. That's good. I really like the minty sagey color and that shimmer there, and that green to like, how would I say, reddish.
Yeah, it's like a coppery orange.
Yeah, that looks really pretty. And the peach, that as a blush, come on.
I'm already thinking of things to do with this.
It's not my favorite from them, I will say that, but it is really pretty. I feel like they always do nice color stories and like something new, like nothing. I don't think when they come out with palettes, I don't think of like, oh, that reminds me of that, or that reminds me of that. So they are definitely on my like radar. I want to try them at some point. But
well, I had Kezia here at the weekend, and she was like, I know you have Clarity stuff, let me try it. So she was at mine the other day and she was just swatching some of my Clarity stuff, and she's like, okay, right, I'm making a bit of a list. So that's added to the list of things that Tia is going to try the next time she's over. Look, I mean, obviously, you know me, I'm a bit of a Clarity Cosmetics hoe. I'll be getting this. I've had a little bit of an issue in terms of the postage, but that's nothing to do with Clarity. That just seems to be like an issue with the US postal service and on Puss, because it's like bounced back to her, and she's been so lovely and like so accommodating and really helpful in like sorting all of that out. So I'm like, girl, you're getting my money, just take my debit card. I'm getting this. I don't care what anyone says. Like, all of you could hate it and I'd still be sitting here going, more for me, me.
I'll buy them all.
I love it. I think this is really, really pretty. And it seems a lot of you are thinking the same sort of kind of ideas as myself, because 45% of you loved it, 25% said not for me, and 30% of you said I liked some of it. Quite a positive response there, gotta say. And speaking of positive, I've been positively excited to know what Blend Bunny has been up to. And she was sneak peeking us this particular palette. This is the Primal palette. And my little heart, when she said the story behind it, which was like one of the palettes she kind of designed with her dad before he passed away, and I'm like, stop it, you're getting me in my emotions. I think this is a nice follow on from what she's done. I have said so many times that I love a big pan of white and black. This makes
really
so much sense to me. Oh, I really like this. I will say, if you have the blends and the Surge, you probably don't need this, but
Yeah, this is nice.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice. And I'm like, I want to complete my collection and get it. But I don't absolutely love it. I like parts of it. For me, the red, the orange, the gold, and the green shimmer are like, I don't like those tones. But to be honest, you don't buy Blend Bunny palettes for their shimmers. Like, yes, they are nice, but the mattes is where she shines. And just for me, if I like get palettes out here, I really like her formula and all. I'm not like bashing anything. Like, I think she's good, but I feel like it's a baby of these two.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like there's like parts of this palette that look similar there and parts of this, and I don't know. I'm a bit offense about it. Like, I'm not as in love as most of my friends who have been talking about it. I don't know. It's not what I expected. I was wanting them to do something completely different. Go like do something completely different color story wise, and not like she's done 2 rainbow palettes already. So I guess I wasn't expecting another rainbow palette, although it's not exactly the same, but it is very similar.
I think this is going to be a very good palette for somebody who hasn't tried Blend Bunny.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
They've kind of been hemming and hawing on this. I think that she's done really well to include the very big pan of white and black, because those are the ones.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like you said, her matte formula is so good, and it does just blend. You can create new shades with the shades that she has. And that's one of the really good things about her formula. So actually the big pan of white and the big pan of black, I think that makes so much sense for what she's included. If though you have the original, the blends and the surge, you probably don't need this. If you are buying it, you are probably just
buying it because you really like this brand.
Yeah.
Like, don't be surprised if like some point I'm like, oh, I got it, because I really like her brand. Like, it's one of the best eyeshadow formulas in the game, and I really like it. Like, the mattes are excellent, and I do feel like the pastels that she included in here are really nice. Like, I like some of the tones are a bit different. I do like the green row, the blue row, the purpley row. I'm not in love with the others. I'm not absolutely in love, but
I do feel though like it's gonna be one of those things that if you saw it or you played with it from somebody else, you'd be like, oh fuck you, I need this.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like, I'll be honest with you lads, I'm gonna end up getting it. Can I necessarily afford it? No, but we're not gonna tell Sahil, it's fine. I think this is beautiful. I think she's done really well, but I wonder, it's so hard for a brand when they've had like dizzying heights of major success. Like, here's the thing, right? If we looked at this palette, okay, if we looked at this palette and we looked at it from anybody else, we'd be like, oh my God, this is really good. But we're putting Blend Bunny through like a more rigorous test, because we're like, we expect excellence, nay, perfection from you.
And like, also, like, just for me, the biggest thing was that I was kind of wishing something new. And I feel like this is yes, new, but it, like, she's still kind of playing it safe, in my opinion.
Yeah, like, I mean, I think the thing that was ironically the most innovative for her was like the dollhouse, because of the mix of the neutrals. And I love that palette. Like, I surprised myself by
I love all of my 3, and like, you know, I really want this one also, because my collection, it needs to be completed.
The family must be watched.
But we'll see. I might end up getting it.
Oh, I know.
Probably will.
I know I will. I'd like, there's no question. Like, I really enjoy this. Now, obviously, like I said, this was being drip fed over a period of time. Now, when we first saw it, I just saw the outside of it and it was like, something is happening. 52% of you were excited. Then when we saw the outside of the palette and we knew that it was Primal, that increased to 74%. And then when it was fully revealed, and I think this is where, like, you know, the Tia of it all comes in, of like, oh, we had such high expectations, etc. It's still very, very high though. 46% love it, 26% said not for me, and 28% said I like some of it. So we're still looking at like 70+% positive thoughts.
Yeah.
Actually, this next palette as well, I think was quite interesting. This is from Simply Posh Cosmetics, and this is their Fairy Tale Fairies palette. And I believe this is actually going to be like $43, and it's available as you're watching now. There's 18 shades, including 12 matte and 6 duochrome shimmers. I really like that there's like a light kind of matte and then a darker matte, and then the shimmer duochrome shade in between is like corresponding to them. I think this is laid out in a way that makes it very logical and easy for somebody to know what to do.
It's stunning. I mean, kind of when I look at it first, I'm like, is this Nomad Cosmetics? Something about the pants and the like crest thingies.
Yeah, I can see that.
But yeah, I really like this. I feel like they could have, like, if you look at Dreamy, Pixie, and then Whimsical, I feel like you wouldn't need Big Pixie there, because kind of would get that mixing Dreamy and Whimsical. So I would maybe change it a bit different. I feel like those three like very similar. It might be different when like swatched, because there's no swatches, but I feel like this is cute.
Yeah, I love the look.
I like it. I really like the dark matte. Fairy Tale could have been a bit deeper though, but it goes with the color, but it could have been a bit deeper.
I agree. I think more of a plum shade would have made more sense for that, but
this is really pretty though. I actually really like this.
I think it's well executed. I like the look of this quite a bit. I like the logical structure. I hate a jumbled palette where there's like colors mishmashed all over the place, because I instinctively want to reorder it and I'm like, let's put the colors together.
I actually like reorganized my Natasha Denona Trio Chrome palette to more peeling. Like, I like when it's like light to dark, same type of colors, and like
it's just
on their own columns.
Pleasing.
Yeah, I feel like I more see what I have and like can like process it better.
We even said last week, we were like, the colors that are coming in are greens, purples, blues, pinks, and they've hit on pretty much all of this. So I think this is bang on trend.
Yeah, and I feel like also what it is like really dark mattes with like pastel colors, like we've seen from like Cosmic Brushes, Blend Bunny, all of those brands, and like indie brands, and all brands coming out with like that type of color stories. And I really like it. I feel like it gives so much variety, you know, in the palette, what you can do with it. Yeah,
totally agree. I think this is done really, really well. Now, when I put it to you guys, 37% said love it, 39% said not for me, and 24% said I like some of it. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but we have another ColourPop collaboration, and this time it's with BTS 21, and I'm not cool, in case you didn't know, so I am not up to date with an awful lot of like cultural references. I'm still somewhat stuck in the 90s and noughties, and I struggle with newer references. I believe BTS is like a band or something. I don't know.
It's like K-pop.
Yeah, that's about as much as I know, and that's it. But apparently there's characters involved. I don't know. I don't entirely understand, but I think they'll do well just because apparently they have like a big like following. There's the Bon Voyage pressed powder palette, £24, $30. There's Luxe lip oils. They're $10 each, and then I think the bit that annoys me the most is the Super Shock shadows, and it has that tie-dye marbled finish, which those stress me out. They're $8 each, information as you're watching. They're already available, and I assume probably sold out because people go bananas over this. There's nothing about this that's interesting to me.
It's feel like it's very young.
Yeah.
That's what I like when I see this color story, the package and everything. I think of like teenagers for some reason.
Totally. Yeah.
It's definitely not for us. It's not my favorite, but I probably will do well because it's people are obsessed about these like K-pop things. So
yeah, I mean, I'm kind of in the same place. That's what I think. The palette itself is not interesting to me. It just feels like a jumble of things they've already done like before. I like their Super Shocks, but I immediately have this gut feeling of like not liking this because marbled shades annoy me. And then lip oils, I'm sorry, who cares? Like, seriously, look, I know it'll do well, people will get excited because whatever, but it's not for me, and I can't really think of anything else to say other than
we just have to accept that this isn't for us. Not everything is for me and Teresa, although why not? Like, we want everything to be for us and only for us.
Yes, we are sheer entitlement. But I do, again, because I think we're all so similar, and I've kind of just hearkened a few of you guys who are very similar to me. When I put it to you guys, 13% of you loved it, 67% of you are with me saying not for me, and 20% said I like some of it. Then we have another collab. This is like the week of collab, and this is Trixie Cosmetics, who have collaborated with Juno Birch, and there's quite a few different bits and pieces in this collab. There's a palette for $48. It's primarily matte. There's just one shimmer in it. Then there's the Junebug lipstick, and there's a mirror, there's a sleep mask, which I fucking love. I love a sleep mask. The lashes are big and floofy. Gotta love them.
They look nice. The lashes look excellent.
Really
my kind of jam.
Yeah, I like those. And there's apparently a scarf set. Like, somebody pointed out on my TikTok that the mirror that they have is basically an homage to like the trans flag, which I'm like, I totally missed that. Didn't get that. Now, I think when you look at the palette, it makes an awful lot of sense when you look at Juno, and you're kind of like, okay, the colors correspond here. That makes sense. They are making kind of drag makeup wearable, if that makes sense. They're going for more toned down, muted, chilled out vibes. And that seems to be what Trixie Cosmetics is doing. And I think it's actually quite smart because they are making it accessible to like probably a wider audience as a result.
I feel like the palette is a bit like, you look at the Juno character there, like her, like it's blue, everything is like very over the top, like bam in your face. Like, I feel like they could have like gone a little bit, like, I don't understand the neutrals in there. Guess that's what I'm trying to say.
Fair.
But I don't know about any, like, I haven't seen Juno Birch, like I haven't seen her anywhere, so I don't know, maybe this makes sense. Like Teresa said, it makes sense, but like I don't know anything about it, so I'm like, I don't know, this doesn't make sense to me. The lashes look
fab,
so nice. I kind of want them. And Trixie is now sold in Beauty Bay, right?
Yep.
So maybe this will come there. And the sleeve mask.
Juno did say on her YouTube that it is coming to Beauty Bay.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. The mirror is cute. I like it. I like the mask. Yeah, I feel like this is a fairly decent. If you want like a neutral palette with pop of blue and some like pastels, I feel like that could be for you. Look at that orange though.
Yeah.
That's a blush.
That's what
I like. Always when there's like orange or a peach in palette, me and Teresa.
Blush.
Look at that orange. How pretty would that be as a blush?
That's literally, that's all we do. We're just spying orange blushes. I think this is a very cohesive collection. I think there's a little bit of something there for everyone, like even including things like headscarves and stuff. I think it's nice. I think it's inclusive. I do think that what they're doing is just trying to make palettes that are kind of everyday wearable.
Yeah, and more like more for a bigger audience.
Yeah.
Because not everyone wears the crazy out loud in your face bam makeup or like drag makeup. So it's smart.
Yeah, I think it's just like smart business planning on their part, to which I'm like, do you know what? Fair enough. You want
Yeah.
your business to survive. I'm not going to get annoyed at you, but it's still kind of staying true to roots. It's kind of like making drag like every day, if that makes sense. Like, it's not for me. Like, I wouldn't get the palette. It just ain't for me. But the things that I do like are, you know, like the lashes, love that. Fucking love the sleep mask. Yeah, I think there's a little bit of something there for everyone. So it's pretty good. But my God, guys, you are a critical bunch.
Ruthless.
Ruthless. I said somebody did not have their Weetabix when they were like fucking voting on these. 9% of you loved it, 75% said not for me, and 16% said I like some of it. We have a new palette from Playing in Makeup by Yolando, and this is coming soon. I don't really have any information other than that. In general, I think this is nice, but this needs to be edited because there's several greens that are quite similar. There's some purples that are similar, blues that are similar. I think this could have been toned down and gotten rid of like maybe two.
Edit yourself. Why won't you edit yourself? Like, this is really pretty color story.
Yes.
Like, this could have been such a good palette. Just edit yourself. Like, why do we need like 3 same color greens in there? And then like it just needs a bit editing. And then I feel like if they rearranged it,
so it's less
like I like my
I agree with you. I agree.
I feel like then they could have seen also better, like, oh, these look very similar. Like maybe we should edit or switch or change a bit, you know.
100%. Because even if I'm just like very quickly spitballing, Unbridled and Fiery, very, very similar to each other. Resolute, Intensive and Ardent, very, very similar to each other. Jealous and Powerful, very similar. And like even Eager and Forceful, although there is a bit of a difference between the two of those, you could manage to make them look very, very similar on the eye. So I'm just like, kind
of gives me Glam Light, Ice Cream, a little bit of Michaela.
Yes.
Kind of like those vibes, but just too much. Like, just edit it a bit down, and I think this would have looked so nice. I feel like this brand, what I've seen on TikTok, like some of their shadows look really nice, and like they look very pigmented, and there's like the video where she like swatches it like, and it just goes and goes and goes. So I feel like she has really nice color stories. But I remember like in the past too, I feel like we're said this multiple times when it comes to this brand that they need to edit themselves a bit. Like, there's just too many similar shades in there. Beautiful color story though.
I think the ideas are there and they're really good. Like, there's nothing that I'm like, oh, I hate. Like, I would never say I hate this. I actually, if this turned up, I'd probably
I would use it. I would abuse it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like, I think as well, historically, anytime we've ever looked at this brand, we have generally kind of been like, these look nice. Like, you know, when the main critique is just like, maybe dial it back, I'm like, those are the nice critiques to get, you know. So in all, do you know what, I think this is nice. I would just say edit it, but in general I quite like it. And it seems this was a fairly divisive one, because when I put it to you guys, 35% said you love it, 36% said not for me, and 30% said I like some of it. Hourglass are trying to pretend that they are being inclusive in their shade range with their new foundation. They're like, look, we're doing this by dividing it up so that we have 32 shades and there are 4 quadrants of depth, which they're not. Let's be 100% real. They've put it so that there's light shades, light medium, medium deep, and deep shades. They're coming out, by the way, July 20th. They have 32 shades, like I said, of foundation for $58. So expensive. You're getting 30 milliliters, by the way, for that $58. The shade range is just, I think they just have it in a note that they're like, if we have 32 shades, that means we are inclusive. And it's like, no, sweetheart, it's not to do with the number of shades, right? We have seen other brands which have fewer foundation, like in terms of numbers, but they have a much greater range, because if we're looking there, they really aren't going that deep at all.
Yeah, it's kind of, I mean, it sounds like it would be a nice foundation, kind of the foundation that people are going for now, like medium, buildable, like natural, glowy. I like the foundation brush, looks so nice.
$47 though.
But yeah, I would never buy it, but it looks really nice. This is just way out of my price league. So that's it for me. I'm like not even entertaining the thought that I would buy this, because it's just crazy.
It frustrates me because like I've tried Hourglass foundations before and I enjoy them.
Yeah, I feel like they have good products, but they're just...
But I've stopped buying from them now. I have like a back catalogue of stuff in my collection from them, but I'm not buying from them anymore because they just aren't listening in terms of inclusivity. Like,
yeah, 16 and 16.5 look very similar. Then 14.5 and 15, all of 14 to 15.5 look all the same.
Similar. Yeah, and you could say the same for 10 to 11.
Yeah, and like I feel like they should, and even with like the lightest one.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just how this is, like we haven't seen like, what are they, arm swatches?
Yeah, like the arm swatches.
My keeping hover maybe. But
he is being nice. I'm being a bitch. And I don't think it's good enough. This is a brand that has millions at their disposal. They need to be doing better at this point.
Yeah.
Like they really do. There are smaller brands out there that do a much better job with much less resources. So cop the F on is all I'll say. Anyways, let's just see what you guys thought. 23% of you love it. And I got a lot of messages kind of going, where's the shade range? And I was like, that's it, lads. That's it. We're finishing up with several releases that are all very samey. So you're going to get a lot of deja vu. And I'm apologizing in advance for that. It has nothing to do with me. There was a memo, it seems, circulated to every beauty brand out there that vinyl lips are gonna be a thing. And who'd have thought it? Maybelline got there first. You know, Maybelline had their vinyl lips for quite some time. But Urban Decay have sauntered past the finishing line with this. This is their Vice Lip Bond Glossy Liquid Lipstick. It says that you have to shake it to activate it, which I believe is the same with the Maybelline as well. You shake, set, and bond with 12 intense shades. And they say that they are transfer proof, smudge proof, and food and water resistant. So they're available already on Sephora for $25 each. The shades look nice, let's be real. Yeah. However, $25 when I could get a vinyl finish with the Maybelline.
Yeah, the Maybelline ones, I've just heard that some of them are very sticky.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't know if it's just like all across the board with just this type formulation. I don't know. I kind of want to try though. Like, maybe try the Maybelline, like glossy lip but transfer proof. Like that would be the dream.
It is.
Like, you know, I like glossy lips now quite a bit, but I hate that it's like very movie.
Yeah.
Do this to my face.
Yeah, have a dinch. Like, you know, when you have gloss on and then it just ends up with hair and it's very unpleasant. Yeah. I think the idea is there. I suspect we're going to see a series of videos going, you know, this dupes this.
Yeah.
And I want to see, like, even formula wise, does it wear the same? Does it feel the same? Because, you know, even if they do look the same, I wouldn't be that bothered about them looking the same as well, what do they actually feel like?
Yeah.
Like, are they comfortable? But that was just announced today. So I have no stats, but I'm going to put them on screen here. And I've already gotten quite a few messages going, Maybelline Vinyl Lip, is that you? This is Makeup Forever, which we rarely hear from these days. This is the Rouge Artist Forever Matte 24-hour long wear liquid lipstick. See our previous point about needing makeup for 24 hours. It is not needed, you silly gooses. Yeah. Basically, they've just said, you know, this is a comfortable smoothing matte finish for up to 24 hours. So it's transfer proof. So at least this is a little bit different.
Yeah. The applicator looks like kind of like the Fenty one.
It does, yeah.
It looks interesting.
It's very, like, I think they're taking the whole thing of like Rouge seriously. Like they're calling it the Rouge Artist, and of course Rouge being French for red. And I'm like, that's a lot of red coming from
this
red lipstick. But I'd like to see more colors. I hope they go beyond.
Yeah, different colors. I feel like it's a bit of a I feel like some of these shades are very similar. All of these, what, 320, 342, and 402, they look all the same.
They do. And even when you look at the swatches, they look very similar. Like they could have really edited that down a little bit further. And they're $25, so it's not like they're super cheap, you know? Yeah. I will say the packaging is giving me Revlon.
It kind of is. It kind of is. Revlon, is that you?
We know that you've been going out of business, but we didn't expect you to resurface that quickly. Yeah, I think they needed to edit this, oddly enough, and also increase the kind of shades that they have.
Yeah.
Strange one. Anyways, again, I don't know what you guys think, but I suspect, I'm hoping you're on board with us. And then the very last thing that we're going to talk about, more vinyl lips, and this time it's from House Lab, and this is their Atomic Shake long-lasting liquid lipstick. And guess what? You have to shake to activate this one as well. Does this sound familiar? They say that it's a high-impact color with a glossy vinyl finish that lasts all day. This is a much smaller collection when compared to the Urban Decay. There's only 4 shades, and they are $1 more expensive than the Urban Decay ones. But weirdly, I feel like 2 of the shades here are so similar.
They have basically 3 reds and 1 like mauve pink.
Yeah.
Kind of would have wanted to see a bit more like a pink there, like a bright ass pink, like this pink.
Yes. Oh, like a real fuchsia type of a color. Like a nice hot pink. Yes. Like Fenty does a really nice hot pink liquid lip, and if they had that color, that I would be on board.
Yes. I
would be running. I want to see somebody compare the Maybelline versus the Urban Decay versus the House Labs. So somebody who's really rich.
Yeah.
We'll do that.
Who wants to do that for us?
Science. I mean, it is the trend now, the vinyl lips. Like, fair enough, like, there you go. But like I said, that was just kind of put out today, so I don't know exactly what you guys think, so I'm going to flash the stats onto the screen now. But that's it in terms of all the new makeup for this week. And like I said, we're off on holidays, so we'll be back.
We're on a holiday. We're on a holiday.
I'm going to read out my favorite comment from last week's video, and this is from the lovely Susie B, who said, I'm so happy for Daniela and Christina for this upcoming launch. Daniela worked so hard on this, you can tell. I am so excited to see what's on the inside. You and me both, Susie. I am super excited, and I will push all of you out of the way to get it.
Yeah.
I'm not against causing physical harm to you all for this. So, yeah. Anyways, guys, that is it. Try not to miss us too much for 2 weeks. But like I said, I will still be like popping in and out on TikTok to tell you what is happening. And we'll probably have a fairly big bumper episode on our way back. I may put it into 2 parts, a Saturday and a Sunday edition.
Yeah.
Lucky goose. I know. Anyways, that is it. Do please like, comment, and subscribe to me and to Tia. Check out both of our Patreons, all that general jazz. click that subscribe button because it's polite and we are nice here, apart from when we swear. When I say we, I mean me. But do please share, because sharing is caring, unless of course it's an STD, in which case, wrap it up. Don't be gross.
Don't be gross.
Yes, but that is it. That is the end of the video, and we will see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Bye.